All right, pre-show shenanigans. Uh, I don't know about you, but so I was driving today. I was driving around a lot. I think
Okay.
one of the biggest inconveniences, like most annoying things in life, is when somebody parks like directly on the parking space line and is like going over like a full spot essentially.
True, true, true.
I
Yeah.
have ran into that like three
Not
different times
quite
today,
taking up two spaces.
but it's
You
like they've
you
gotten like the
could squeeze
full.
in if you're in a little tiny Prius, but good luck getting in there, Charlie.
Or also when you park your car and somebody just like there's so many spots and somebody just elects to park right next to you.
Yeah, that's actually the worst of all time. If that happens, I assume that they're trying to like mug me or something. Why
Yeah,
would you park
you think
next
that
to me if there's
you're
like
just
30 other empty spots? That's sus. That's sus behavior. We got to look into that a little more. If I think about one of the qualms I had driving recently, I was taking a drive a little while away, about hour and a half to Santa Barbara,
yep.
and I was not informed that there was serious road construction on a 3-lane highway section of PCH. Now, beautiful drive. You get to see the coast. I'm not worrying about that. I'm not complaining about that. To a degree, I enjoyed this traffic so I could
You
see
get to
the
take
ocean
in
a
the
little bit
views.
more.
Yeah.
Uh, but also keep in mind, I have another 75 minutes to go at this point. So that's also kicking in like, I could wait for the ocean on the back half of the drive to look out the
Yeah,
window and
yeah.
appreciate. Right now, I'm just like, oh my God, 75 minutes. Let's pray I don't have to pee. But
Which for you,
is a
boy,
very big
it's a
problem.
very
I've never had to use it, but like I will always have an empty water bottle on that drive.
only when you're recording the podcast. If we were recording the podcast while you drove up, oh, 100% you'd have to make a stop.
I would say this is another thing. Like I've never had to go on like substantial drives where I'm the driver. Like this Santa Barbara drive is like the longest like regular drive that I will physically be
Yeah,
driving.
unless you're going to
But
LAX, but
an hour, well, just getting around the
around might take an
terminals
hour.
takes you 45 minutes. But an hour and a half, that's like the longest drive I'll do, which isn't actually that long. It's just when it gets congested, it's a 3-lane highway.
Yeah.
At this section going up to Santa Barbara, there's one lane for my, uh, I guess the rights, or
Side
if you're
of the
going
highway. Yeah,
northbound,
you're going up on the
northbound, there's
right.
only one lane, and there's supposed to be 2 lanes going southbound. They closed the far left lane from my perspective. So there were just 2 lanes, and it's around this very bendy curve area of a mountain where you already have to slow down from like 60 to 25 just in general.
So yeah,
Then
so you
with the
don't die.
construction, you have to slow down to like 10.
And then you have
And
people
so
merging on top of that.
that entire section was just atrocious and hideous and awful. Uh, I just want to say, if you're going to have major construction like that, any type of maps, ways, anything, there should be like urgent messages if you even try to consider taking that route. Like there need to be better warnings for these navigation maps. That's all I got to say. That's my qualm of the week when it comes to driving.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that section of PCH has been under construction for like 3 years. Because I remember I went up to Santa
Yeah,
Barbara about
it's
two and a half
always
years
under
ago,
construction.
and that same exact little stretch you're talking about still under
That,
construction.
and there's also a stretch down
That's
the end,
also
like
under
more
construction.
near towards Santa Barbara, where I swear has been under construction for 8 years now. I think they just
We
gave
were
up like
in.
4 years ago, and they were like, you know what? You know what? Let's just leave it.
Would
Why
we that's
can't we do that?
we would have been what, graduating middle school at that point
Ish. Yeah.
ish around there. That's crazy.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, those are my problems of the week. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 126, and the NBA and NHL finals are all wrapped up. Everett, the only sport on right now is baseball. Let's give it a round of applause for America's favorite pastime. Now, for I would say, yeah, 80% of just general sports fans, this is the most boring time of the year.
Yeah, you got to watch baseball and golf.
But at least it's summer and you can actually do stuff. But yeah, okay. We got to start off with the NBA. We didn't give a proper send off last time recording early, but Nikola Jokić is amazing, Everett. He's unbelievable. Last night I had a flood of TikToks of like behind the scenes off court TikToks of Jokić and Murray together, or Jokić with like other Nuggets players. And I love Jokić and Murray. They really aren't hateable at all. In terms of their personality, I only hate them because they bounced the Lakers in 4 and because they were just so much better than us. That's why I disliked them. But I think they're like one of the least hateable teams to win a championship.
No, I think so too.
Giannis's ring was pretty unhateable too for the most part.
I mean, they also, to be fair, like it was their first ring as a franchise.
Well.
But
like Warriors are hateable. Of
they
course.
are 100% hateable.
LeBron is hateable. Like
Celtics are hateable.
Would
the Heat have been hateable if they won?
I would lean more towards no.
I would
for some people, but no.
My favorite thing though, out of everything last night was, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Jokić obviously was like, all right, we won, now we can go home. And then he's doing the debrief press conference, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, you have to be here for the parade." He's like, "What parade? There's parade?" And on like, Thursday. He's like, "No, I gotta go home." They're like, "You can go home Friday."
Priorities. He's got to set his priorities
straight. He's got an appointment with his horses. So I mean,
I also saw a nice little bit. Someone asked about like Jokić. And we'll get to this first, where he checked his phone and he was getting spam messages, and it was very nice just to see that genuine reaction out of him checking his phone. It looked like he was just informed that he had been cut from the Nuggets. That was the look that he gave to the camera. But Jokić, let's embrace debate, Everett. Let's embrace debate. What does Jokić have to do to be the greatest Serbian athlete of all time? What does he have to do to pass Jokić? What does he have to do to pass Nemanja Vidic for Man United, who I think is the only center back to win 2 Player of the Year awards in the Premier League?
I mean, I think that there's not much that he has to do to pass whatever his name is.
Nemanja Vidic?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's not going to go over with the English viewers, but okay.
With Jokić, well, to be fair, like in the seasons that Jokić has played, he's won MVP. He almost won it twice. He's been all-stars.
Jokić does have it twice.
He does have it twice. So he already has it twice. He has won the NBA Finals. He's made the playoffs in multiple years. He has made the All-Star team multiple years. Like he's essentially gotten almost every accolade that he possibly could outside of a couple. So
that is true. It's just the multiple at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, he already has multiple MVPs. He has an NBA Finals MVP, which you and I have both said is one of the hardest awards to get in the entirety of sports.
No, not what I said. I said it's the most prestigious award in all of sports.
Still.
No, I was giving more credit to you there, actually.
Yeah. So just by that argument, like I think it's certifiably, if he wins one more MVP or something, like certifiably easy choice just to put him above. Now,
I'll be honest, I was just saying this because I don't know shit about tennis, and as a
Jokić
tennis star yourself.
But with Jokić is one of the
after the last one, he has the most majors ever.
Yeah, correct? So Jokić is one of the best athletes of technically the last 20, 25, even potentially all time. Just in tennis, he's one of the tennis all-time greats. People can argue, I mean, Roger Federer obviously is the all-time great, but there was a stretch of time there where people were really arguing that Jokić would end up being better than Federer. And obviously I think he has more titles than Federer all time. Or there was at least a stretch of time where that was the case.
He just set the record for most majors.
I honestly
once again, I don't know, but
I honestly don't know if Jokić will be able to pass that. Just because of how difficult it is to win so much of the NBA And obviously, that's a team sport. In tennis, you're relying mostly just on yourself, and it's a little bit easier by that standpoint to be able to win those things if you're that good, like Djokovic is.
Yeah.
I'm not discrediting that at all because Djokovic is one of the best athletes of all time. But just for Jokic's standpoint, I don't think that he's gonna pass that. Like the only way that he would is if he ends his career kind of on a Michael Jordan stretch.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he won 5 more rings with 5 Finals MVPs,
Yeah, 100%.
hey, I mean, I'll be honest though, most Grand Slams ever, Jokic would be tied for most NBA Finals and NBA Finals MVP. So
And that's saying a
even
lot
that,
too, by the way,
I'm
considering
kidding.
Rafael
I'm kidding.
Nadal
If
is
he,
still
if he got
playing.
4, screw it. If he had 3 Finals MVPs, yeah, Jokic is the greatest Serbian athlete ever. Okay, all right. I think, yeah, I just want to piss off.
Don't discredit
people.
Djokovic. Just saying.
Yeah, I do like if people were. I mean, I don't know how tennis rankings works. Like how people do it. Would people agree Federer, Djokovic, Nadal?
Federer, Djokovic, Nadal.
Big drop off Nadal?
Huh? What'd you say?
Were you saying like
Yeah.
big drop off Nadal?
So Federer, Djokovic, a little bit Nadal. Nadal is still a great tennis player, but there's a very big discrepancy, I think, between those two and Nadal. Nadal is still 100% in that conversation, but I think there's a little bit of range between the two.
In my opinion, whoever grunts the loudest out of those 3 when they hit the ball should be number 1. I don't know who that is. I would guess that's Rafael Nadal.
That's how you get all your power. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not screaming, you're not trying. So, I mean, it's kind of how it works. I know Everett, they almost didn't let you on the team because your scream wasn't violent enough.
No, it was too violent. They were actually concerned.
Oh, that's correct.
It
was our colleague who's in New York currently who had too much of a squealish scream.
Yeah, it was deafening. They actually sent him to a vocal coach. They sent him to a vocal coach to go and get it fixed.
Actually. Yeah, kind of interesting news. But I got some more. Okay. I got one last thing on the NBA, Everett. I saw some people on Twitter saying that this Jimmy Butler run, this one, maybe even the 2020 bubble run, were the most impressive one-man carry performances in NBA playoff history. I got a fun fact, Everett.
Okay.
Everett, I got a fun little fact for you. Let me remind you about the team that LeBron Raymond James Sr. had around him when he took the Cavs to the NBA Finals at age 22 in year 4, Everett. Nasty Z, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Larry Hughes, Sasha Pavlovich, and Drew Gooden. I mean, I can understand Sasha Pavlovich,
I thought that you were going to have more. Like, I thought you were going to make like a full-on statement.
No, that's the starting
five. Yeah.
That's it. I can't break down the stats too. In that playoff run, Braun averaged 25, 8, and 8. His next highest scorer was Nasty Z, who averaged 12 points.
Yeah, no. LeBron's run on the Cavs that year was absolutely just disgusting because it was a one-man.
22.
That was a legitimate one-man. Like he was playing. We talk about plumbers in like the 1950s. This is like the modernized version of
his
plumbers.
His teammates were all plumbers.
Yeah, like he called up Mario from AAA essentially. But look, Jimmy Butler had an amazing run in the bubble. Obviously, we have the whole picture of him leaning over the side. Like he was essentially the one-man army for that. And he definitely made a decent impact in this year's playoffs. But I can't say that he is the sole reason why they made it to the finals because down the stretch, you have Gabe Vincent, who honestly was playing better than Jimmy. And you have Kyle Lowry, who is good. Duncan Robinson decided to just show up after like the second playoff series.
What happened with Caleb Martin? He decided to start becoming a player.
Yeah, but look, this is my biggest one in the finals. Outside of like a minute long period in this last game, in game was it 5? Jimmy Butler literally was the avatar. Like he just vanished out of it.
He was afraid to shoot.
Gone.
Reminded me of James Harden. Reminded me about LeBron to a degree near the end of that Nuggets series. Reminded me of
He literally looked
bad,
like
bad. He looked
2011
bad.
LeBron James in the finals. That's
Yeah, you didn't
exactly
want to see it. That's not
no.
it's not what we wanted to see out
He
there.
was like 2 for 11 with 9 points or 8 points, something like that, going into the fourth quarter, I believe. And then obviously he went on that little run. He had 15 points, but it was a little bit too late. And then he took that one horrible 3-point shot to try and tie the game to go to OT.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like,
yeah, no, not ideal. Not ideal. Definitely not. But yeah, I think that might wrap it up for the NBA for us. The NBA draft's coming up pretty soon.
yeah.
I really, really want Shams to just announce that the Spurs take Victor Wembanyama like
Tomorrow.
today. Yeah, like announce it. I mean, we all know already. I'm just telling you now, like NFL, they're leaking stuff early. NBA, it's bad. They're literally 10 picks ahead of real time.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that
It's
clock,
so
the clock's been
It's
running
so
for weeks.
Yeah, the NBA draft, it's gonna be
All right, let's get into the MLB a little bit here, talking about the only sport that's on TV right now.
Oh, wait a second, Everett. We did not properly congratulate Man City on their first ever Champions League.
Oh, that is correct.
I just have a real quick trivia for you. Some questions for you, Everett. First things first, I want you to guess how many teams have ever won a treble in European soccer.
So you know that I have zero clue about.
No, I know. I just want you to guess.
I'm going to say 1.
Oh, more than that. 10.
Okay. Oh, okay.
10 teams.
I have no idea what really that is, to be honest.
Treble, it's you win.
Did you get the 3 majors?
Your domestic league, so the Premier League.
Yes.
In this case, you win your domestic cup, so the FA Cup. They won that.
Yep.
And then you win the European Conference League, Champions League, which they won. So you have to win domestic league and domestic cup, and then you have to win continental cup. But 10 teams have done it ever. I now want you to guess, out of the 10 total times that this has happened, how many trebles have happened in the 21st century in the last 23 years of the 10 total?
2.
6.
Okay, I'm undershooting today.
No, it's okay. But it's just 6 of the 10 total trebles have happened in the last 23 years. Last fun fact. Guess who is the only manager to ever win 2 trebles now? Pep Guardiola is now the only manager in soccer history to win 2 trebles as a manager. He did with Barcelona in 2009, and he just did it this year with Man City. And I said at the start of this year, Man City will never win a Champions League. I said I look forward to the day that Man City loses in the quarterfinals to Benfica. That didn't happen this year.
So what are you going to do as retribution now?
As retribution now, I'd like to officially announce this. I'm wearing this PSG jersey for one last time today, Everett, because PSG is officially a dead club. Mbappe is now leaving PSG. They have placed Kylian Mbappe on the transfer window after he refused to sign a contract extension, and PSG is not going to let their golden boy Mbappe go for free next year when his contract expires. They're going to let him leave right now, and they'll get a fat bag for it. But with that, the bandwagon team, Everett, it's just Man City now. They are the new age. Like if you just start watching soccer within the last 2-3 years or just now, Man City's going to be what people think is the best team in the world. Not Real Madrid, not Barcelona. God, no. Bayern, they have way too many problems. It's now Man City. So
here's my question for you. And you can think about this throughout the rest of the episode if you need to. What are like the top 10 teams you can see Kylian Mbappe going to?
Real Madrid. He's going to Real Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like
going like everyone wanted it. Like we had Ronaldo versus Messi, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. They play with including Cup, and they match up in the Champions League. They'd essentially play 5 times a year. So you'd get to see Messi and Ronaldo 5 times a year, essentially. Well, to be honest, like one of them was always hurt for the game, but whatever. Pretend they played 5 times a year. But everyone wanted to be. It's always been Mbappe to Real, but everyone wanted Haaland to Barcelona. They wanted the next series of El Clasico to be with the next 2 best players in the world. But it's got to be Man City versus Real Madrid.
I think my chair pops more than like my body does at this point.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know, the humidity affects like machinery.
I mean, maybe. It's just not ideal circumstances out here. I look like I'm
That's
in a
probably the stupidest thing
in a
I've said on this
sauna right
podcast,
now.
but
I look like a nice crispy. I like SpongeBob when he was on that heat
I'll be
lamp in the
honest, you
SpongeBob
also
movie.
kind of look like you have the sepia filter on right now, if you are familiar with what that is. But yeah, that's all the soccer
Gotta look
talk.
nice, olive and tan right now.
Yeah, but yeah, just a send off to PSG. This is a dead
Yeah,
club.
it will be
Thanks.
retired into the rafters
Yeah, this is
with your other jerseys. Um, Getting into the MLB real quick. First thing I want to start off with is the Oakland A's and the reverse
reverse
boycott that
boycott.
occurred yesterday, and chanting "Sell a team." I don't think that I have seen anything that is more deserving of a standing ovation than what the Oakland A's managed to get. Basically, not like all of their fans to do that could go to the game. I have never seen a fan base be more kind of cohesive and joined together than what occurred last night.
Are they arguably the strongest fan base in all of sports? Being able to come together like this, plan
Let me
a
ask you. Let me ask you a different question. Have you ever seen another fan base be so cohesive with each other and
that's
not
yes.
argue
Yeah,
and
more
get
so
something
that.
done like that?
You know,
Because
like unity and getting shit done.
I have never seen any fan base be able to
This is crazy.
unionize basically and be like, let's get together and and do all this, like no complaining. Nobody's like complaining about stuff. Like even in the Dodgers fan base, we have people being like, "Oh my god,
Yeah, no,
get
there's too
James
many
Outman out of
disagreements everywhere.
here,"
Yeah,
or "Bobby Miller sucks,"
everyone
or
has different opinions on who they
yeah.
should trade for. Yeah,
Oakland
Oakland, they're
A's,
they're together.
Oakland
It's
A's, they don't
nuts.
care about anything besides just showing the owners that they suck.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
I also
Yeah,
fully could see the entire fan base. I wasn't there, obviously. I don't know how it worked out. I could see them getting the tickets. Obviously, the Oakland A's donated all the money to charity,
yeah.
as so they say in quotation marks. I could literally see all the Oakland A's fans being like, "All right, we're gonna go to the game, but nobody is allowed to buy concessions. We're not giving them any more money. It's just you're standing in the bleachers. That's it. We're gonna chant."
Be powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just when you look at I think like people have just posted like former Oakland A's players this season and how well they're doing, like Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, uh Sean Murphy, God damn it. Let me get some pitchers in here. Let me think of like at least one. Yeah, no, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But they have stars just on other teams right now that are just balling up that they just did not re-sign or trade away.
They
And so
traded them
yeah,
away for
uh
scraps.
Oakland, as Frank the Tank likes to call them, the Oakland ass, they are management has made some bad decisions. You know, you get one little Moneyball movie made about you and you think you could do whatever you want. But yeah, that's the Oakland A's right now. Uh, they have created the strongest group of people in the world, though. I'll give them something, you know, I'll give them something. Uh,
Are the Oakland A's the worst franchise in all of sports? Not by
maybe
like a team standpoint, but by the ownership,
ownership standpoint,
the amount of just like care about the team, like as a front office, as a just like, is it the
I would
worst?
probably say it's them because they have like historically consistently
Consistently
spent like
been
the least
trash.
amount every single year. Like
Obviously, the Angels are there right now, but like they've had some success in the
at
past.
least the Angels re-signed Mike Trout. At
Yeah,
least they did that. You know,
at least they have the next Michael Jordan apparently, in Shohei Ohtani.
I also hate
So
to say this, but I actually think the Oakland A's have probably made the playoffs more times in Trout's career than the Angels have.
uh, probably
I
not
actually think that
wrong.
might be true.
You're probably not wrong. I don't have the Angels. When was the last time the Angels made the playoffs? Let's start there.
Trout has made the playoffs one time in
One
his
time.
career. They got swept.
And what year was that? Like 2014,
That sounds around the time, like 13, 14.
14. Yeah. The fact that they have not made the playoffs once with Shohei is incredible.
Oh yeah, the Oakland A's have made the play. Oh my god, you're not. Guess how many more times the Oakland A's have made the playoffs than the Angels in that time period that Trout's been on their team?
6.
5 more times. But they made it 6 times in that time frame. That alone is pretty hilarious. They actually might not be the worst managed team. Holy shit, that's crazy. They
Oh
made
my
it like
god.
6 times.
Embrace debate. Are the Los Angeles
Angels are worse, Everett.
Oh my
Angels
God.
are worse. Yeah. Oh, they are. Holy shit, that just proved it. That's how you measure it. Playoff appearances for baseball. You know, rings, it's an unfair measurement because it's so hard, but playoff appearances.
I cannot wait for the day that a 60 minutes presentation,
with a 30 for 30.
30 for 30 is made, Netflix documentary is made on the Angels with Shohei and Mike Trout and how disorganized everything is.
Yeah. No, that's terrible. That's terrible. You got anything else on MLB?
Not on the MLB. That was
I have
just the
some
biggest
college
thing.
football.
Okay. All right, let's
You
get
don't
into
mind.
that.
24/7 updated their recruiting rankings, and currently these are the top 5 teams in the country: Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Notre Dame, LSU. Currently, Ohio State's team point rankings, whatever the hell, is at 250, third best, but they only have 14 commits right now. Among the other schools in the top 5, 3 of them have 19 commits, and one of them has 17.
And we're talking about this commits for not this upcoming season, the next season.
Next cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So 2024 is their graduation year. So their first season, 24-25.
It's crazy
for these players. And trust me, I'm already looking ahead at 25-26. I'm already getting worried about that recruiting class, Everett. Clock never fucking stops. But
no, it doesn't.
Right
it's like
now,
the NBA draft.
Ohio State 14, Michigan is 19, Georgia has 19. Right now, Michigan is only 5 points ahead of Ohio State after the 24/7 recruiting rankings shook up.
Yeah.
But they have 19 commits, and they only have 6 Scullies left to improve on their 255 rating.
How much does Ohio State have left?
11 commits to add.
Well, there you go. There's your answer. A 5-point difference when you have also a 5-point difference in scholarships available. I think that's a pretty big margin, especially considering obviously recruiting is year round, but like the biggest part of the commitment season hasn't even happened yet.
A heavy bulk has happened, but this is where we're picking up steam.
Once we get to signing day though, like signing day, I would say arguably.
Yeah, like most of like the really, really top end guys have not
we'll go there yet. Yeah.
So we're waiting on those. But currently Michigan has 7 3-star players committed to them. And you know, I'm not trying to knock 3 stars or anything, but when it's this early in the recruiting cycle and you have 3 stars committed, that makes me wonder that, maybe they had to take the 3s because there are some 4 stars who told them no. So they just wanted to lock the 3s up now. Anyway, though, I'm not pointing fingers or anything.
I figured out how to take the filter off. There we go.
Ohio State, they only have 2 3 stars committed. That's the lowest amount of 3 stars committed to any team in the top 10 for the team recruiting rankings right now. Georgia has 4 3 stars. Ohio State only has 2. This is the last little cherry on top, though. Michigan does not have any 5-star players anymore, Everett. Their
really
5-star quarterback, Jaden Davis, is no longer a 5-star after not winning his regional qualifier for the Elite 11. Ohio State's quarterback did, though. The future lefty gunslinger for Ohio State, Air Noland, he won his regional camp, and he is currently only 2 spots behind Jaden Davis. The Elite 11 finals, the Elite 11, it begins, I believe, this week.
So let me ask you this. Let's just say
when Air Noland goes from like the 70th player in the country to 5-star and jumps the Michigan previous 5-star, we'll just say I told you so.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, as an Ohio State fan, perfection is what you strive for and what you expect. True. But what do you see Aaron Nolan doing at Ohio State. Where
He's
do you
going to
see him
have
taking the team?
maybe one of the greatest receiving cores of all time. Okay. Jeremiah Smith is going to be his main wide receiver. This guy, his comparison is Julio Jones. Now, we don't really love comps or anything, but he's 6'4". He runs like a 4.5 in high school. That guy, I am going to go out on a limb and say this right now, will be at worst top 3 receiver in Ohio State history.
Can you say his name and then say that?
Jeremiah Smith. Aaron Nolan, Jeremiah Smith is going to be amazing, but Jeremiah Smith, at minimum, is going to be a top 3 wide receiver in Ohio State history. I'm going to mark my words right now. That man's going to dominate. And I'm very confident with him and Aaron Nolan. Now, the year before, he's going to be also throwing to 2 other 5 stars when Aaron Nolan's a sophomore. He's going to be throwing to Brandon Inniss and Carnell Tate, potentially Noah Rogers too. We'll see. He's another guy that borderline 5 stars on other sites. And I think they also labeled him as the greatest football recruit to ever come out of the state of North Carolina. But yeah, Ohio State, the receiver room is packed. Aaron Nolan, his third stringers should be starters. Well, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be hilarious. It's going to be disgusting.
And you think that Aaron Nolan's going to have the ability to really kind of take over the game, or you have to see how he develops first?
I mean, since Ryan Day has taken over every single Ohio State.
All I'm saying is Nike has one of the best NIL opportunities physically possible.
Whoa, where did
with
Nike
Aaron
come
Nolan
out of this? Oh, okay. Now I like how you're talking.
That is one of the best possible. Either you have the Nike Air Airs, you can do Air Squared, or Nike Air Nolans.
Yeah. I mean, now I kind of hate that you're saying this because you like kind of a little bit compared him to Michael Jordan, just a little bit. There,
I know a
little bit.
But like,
I'm not going to compare him to Michael Jordan, but Aaron Nolan, I'm very excited. He's going to be the first. I did look this up. He's going to be the first lefty starting quarterback in Ohio State history. Starting. I can confirm the starter.
Was Terrell Pryor? Terrell Pryor was righty.
Yeah. He just ran a lot. So you could never tell which arm was the throwing arm.
Braxton Miller didn't play quarterback, did he?
Oh my God. What the fuck? What?
I don't know why, but for some reason I don't know. Don't question it. Don't question it.
All right, let's take a quick rewind to the 2014 Ohio State National Championship. Everett. The season was written off before it began because Braxton Miller tore his labrum, his throwing shoulder, pre-season before the season even started. So JT Barrett, who was the second string, had to start. Then we lost week 2 to Virginia Tech. I did not give a fuck for the next 8 weeks. I thought the season was done. I was like, well, all right, I'll just play with my dick in my hands and just have fun, I guess, because this isn't going to be a good season. Then we got to the end of the year, and we're playing against Michigan. And then JT Barrett breaks his fucking ankle against Michigan. And then this guy, this random guy, came out of nowhere, just comes into the game. And at the time, I had only known him because of his tweet where he said, "We ain't come here to play school. We came here to play football." That man was Tom Brady. No, Cardale Jones. Cardale Jones came in as the third string quarterback to win the Natty. But yeah, no, Braxton Miller was a 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year as quarterback.
See, my inference is I couldn't remember exactly. I just remember that you guys had 2 wide receivers in the NFL that were quarterbacks for Ohio State.
That is true, and I think that really does contribute to the narrative that Ohio State quarterbacks can't play.
Not ideal. Not ideal. If Justin Fields
and Riley has used that before.
If Justin Fields
over Ohio State.
If Justin Fields somehow ends up actually like switching to the running back position.
Stop.
Oh my God.
Stop.
Oh my God. Okay. So moving into the NFL, I was talking about this beforehand, before we started, but there is a new documentary coming out on Netflix, same company that did the Manti Te'o story. Phenomenal. It's an untold story. It will be looking at the behind
Is it
the
a new
scenes.
untold story?
Yes, it's a new one.
Like a brand new untold story that's never been told before?
Yeah, a new untold story.
Hmm.
Anus for short.
Hmm.
But
Cute.
uh so it will be following Kirk Cousins, the GOAT, Lil Kirko, Patrick Mahomes, just that guy.
And
And
is
the
this
legend,
in season?
it's in season, and the legend himself, Marcus Mariota. I personally cannot
Okay.
wait to
Yeah,
see Marcus Mariota just
I
quit
was
on
about to say Marcus
everybody.
Mariota is who I'm most excited to see. Okay. Like all like my earliest memories of Mariota, like Ohio State played Oregon going back to 2014 year. We
Yeah.
played Marcus Mariota, the Heisman winner, and Oregon in the 2014 national championship game. Oregon was a 7-point favorite over Ohio State in that game, which is, I mean, the freest money of all time. Ohio State +7. I mean, the freest bet in history. But
So,
yes,
by the way, this is what we in the trailer. They had a clip of him being like, "Yeah, I'm just like the playmaker, and sometime that makes me make errors." And they layer that over him on the ground, rolling
no,
around, throwing the interception last season.
that's memes.
They had a clip of Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game and then the Super Bowl where he like hurt his ankle, and Andy Reid's like, "I want to take you out." If you remember him, like on the sidelines, like yelling about it, he's like, "No, like you can't take me out." So there's that whole background on the game. And then there's Kirk Cousins, one explaining to
Do
his.
they show footage of him getting his Toradol shot at halftime before he went in the second half?
I'm hoping that that's in there. But then they show Kirk Cousins, who is honestly the steal of the show. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
One, he's reading a story to his son about why the quarterback's protected in the NFL, and it's like a picture book explaining that the quarterback needs to be protected for X, Y, and Z. And
Is
then the
this like a
best,
well-known book? Did he write this book?
I
Like
don't
what?
know, but it's a kid's picture book. Roger Goodell had something up his sleeve. I'm guessing.
Teach them
Uh,
while they're young.
but the best thing, and I cannot wait for this, is I want the behind the scenes on the origination of the chains, the Kirk Cousins chains coming
Oh,
out.
I want to just see like the team's general reaction. I hope they have cameras like on the plane when it literally happened
Yeah,
itself.
the biggest L that I will say is coming out of this is they did one-on-one interviews with Patrick Mahomes' wife. They had cameras
I'm excited
following
for that
her. We'll see how that one goes.
I can't wait for her to start off the interview popping a bottle of champagne all over the recording equipment and breaking it. That's what I'm looking forward to. You won't even get to see.
I'm just. How would you react if Jackson Mahomes found his way into the documentary?
I am expecting at least one reference.
What? Yeah. You know what? I think that Patrick
but I
Mahomes
actually think they probably will give him a scene. Maybe
Patrick
it got
Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers
years,
should
but...
both have reality TV family shows.
Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers doesn't talk to
Exactly
Aaron Rodgers anymore. At least Patrick Mahomes like still communicates.
But like they should force Aaron Rodgers into like a closed environment with his family. It's like we're trying to rehab the family relations.
I mean, to be honest, the biggest difference that I see between Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers is that Aaron Rodgers is an asshole and doesn't like his brother, and Mahomes does. That's the biggest difference between them two.
I mean, yeah, that is true. You're not wrong. Not wrong. The other thing, this is Vikings news over the week. Cam Jordan. So obviously in Nevada, they had Von Miller's pass rushing camp, and there's a clip going around of Cam Jordan. I guess I don't know if he was like trying to rap or whatever, or just like make kind of just like a statement of like this is like it was honestly like slam poetry. But he was talking about like we love slow decisions, we love like this stuff that gives us time to make sacks, and he specifically called out Kirk Cousins like, okay, slow decisions, we love that, call him Kirk Cousins. Yeah, Cam Jordan has been absolutely owned by the Vikings at every stage of his career, including multiple playoff losses where Kirk Cousins slow decisions won the Vikings playoff games on Cam Jordan's noggin.
This hostile, but okay, keep going.
So before you want to take some targets at Kirk Cousins, one, check your own record. Two, check yourself. And three, why don't you like get a sack on him or something when he's making these slow decisions first and then come back and say something?
Now, I would have loved if you started that off with first check yourself before you wreck yourself, and then got into it. But hey,
Hey, you know what? This is a learning curve, all right?
yeah,
We're
getting there.
just taking part of the process.
It's only year 2 of
It's
this,
all part of the
so
process, and unlike Joel Embiid, we are actually making something out of it.
okay. Wow, we're taking shots at Philly people today too. Okay, Everett, you woke up today, you chose
Oh
violence.
yeah, I'm a little cranky today.
Yeah, I mean, while you were just talking about edge rush you, I was just thinking about tight end you. And I think it's announced that some of the quarterbacks throwing at tight end you, hilarious, Trey Lance and Sam Darnold. Oh, so just the 49ers. It's just the 49ers because George Kittle runs the camp.
Is it
So
in
yeah,
Sanford? Where is it?
it's I'm almost 100% positive it's in San Francisco now or LA with that news.
Who would be, if you're running a camp, who would be the 3 funniest starting quarterbacks that would get invited to like throughout the camp?
Jameis Winston.
Okay. I'd say Zach Wilson and Baker Mayfield.
Baker, yes. Jameis, number 1. Yeah. Baker's in
Baker
there.
2.
I'm thinking Lamar would also be pretty funny. He's just throwing laser beams.
Oh, Drew Lock. Drew Lock.
Oh, actually, Drew Lock would be pretty fun for that.
Drew
Now I
Lock,
think.
yeah.
That actually would be pretty
He'd
fun.
be vibing around. He'd be vibing. I don't know. Is he still in the Seahawks? Is he still there?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember if he got re-signed or if he was a free agent right now.
Yeah, no, he's just sitting on the back, like rapping like Young Jeezy or who
Yeah.
else?
Okay. Last 2 things. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
No,
Last 2
else.
things that we have to wrap up this episode. Hey, I just want to say I want to give us a little pat on the back here. We are in the biggest downturn of sports content right now. These are the dark times for people in our industry, and we are doing a phenomenal job.
I might have some breaking news here any second because I'm looking up where Tight End University is going to be located at. But keep going.
Okay.
We'll take breaking news. Tight End University will be taking place in exactly 5 days from when this podcast releases in Nashville, Tennessee. I'll be honest, that's kind of a great location to have it in. I think Nashville is a state that embodies tight ends. I would have preferred the Midwest, but we'll take Nashville.
You think Derrick Henry shows up?
Maybe. I'm trying to think of what non-tight end players would be there. But I mean, they're gonna need some people like playing defense.
Ryan Tannehill. He can convert. He can convert.
Non-defense player.
I could see. I could see Treylon Burks making his way in there. Peter Skoronski, the new rookie tackle's a big athletic guy.
To be honest, I really want just Will Compton to suit up and
just come out and come back.
I want Will Compton to play some Will.
Throw Taylor Lewan in there too. Just get some good busting with the boys content. Okay.
To be honest, Taylor Lewan, I don't even know.
Oh my god. There is. We forgot a big thing. Obviously, last episode we were talking about Baby Gronk.
There's more Baby Gronk news.
Well, since then, there's been the video come out of Baby Gronk's dad.
My God, how did we forget that?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
That's a fireable. Now I'm gonna have to talk to our unnamed intern. That's a fireable offense.
Why the hell was that not in the script?
Why
was that not
fireable offense?
What the hell? Anyway, yeah, Baby Gronk's dad has been just confirmed to just be just the absolute worst of all time. If you haven't seen the clip already, to be honest, I couldn't make it through the full 90 seconds.
No, it is so unbelievably gross and cringy.
And I can't really tell. I mean, I don't actually know, but it does seem like the kid seems a little annoyed that he's.
No, he seems like he just is so fed up with everything. He's like, it's like, when you're like a kid and you're like really embarrassed by your parents making you like talk to somebody or do something. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, like ramped up. And
yeah,
I now feel bad for Baby Gronk. I now want him to make it D1. Last episode, I was kind of kind of coming out saying like, he's never gonna make it. I think I might be Baby Gronk's biggest fan now.
Let's clarify this. Baby Gronk himself, not his dad.
Whoa. BGB. That's Baby Gronk, or BGD. Baby Gronk's dad. That's how we'll refer to him. Baby
BGD.
Gronk. We're just talking BG here.
BG.
We're just talking BG. Now BG, I'll ride or die for BG till the end of time. I am going to vouch for him to get.
So all I'm saying is he needs to be. Apparently, his dad's like 5'6", by the way.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's a mild concern.
Okay. Hey, he could be Deuce Vaughn. Let's get him fast. Let's get him in speed training right now.
Yeah. The other thing is, I don't know. I'm hoping this is a joke because obviously it seems like his dad's like running everything. And I'm praying it's a joke, but they were like talking about how, oh yeah, Baby Gronk's elected to not play football for middle school or high school, and he's just going to train specifically to go to college. Dude, do you understand how football works?
That's not going to get you ready.
If he even gets an offer, if he even managed to get an offer, it would probably be D3, and he'd step on the field and get immediately
but not even that, but like
pulverized.
Even if he got athletic enough to look like a college football player and everything, like he'd show up and he just would.
You get pulverized
for what? 8 years at that point. How old's the kid? Like 4th grade?
9.
School yet? I don't know. But yeah, that wouldn't be great for him.
Also, that comes in conversation. Are you also pulling him out of middle school and high school, and you're just making him train? Because not only are you screwing him over for the career you want him to have.
Now I interpreted that as he just pulled him out of middle school, high school sports. Did he pull him out of school?
That's what dude, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of seemed like that. That's the way that I was kind of thinking about it.
Well, now this is child abuse. I don't even know. That's nuts.
It is actually just so it's kind of sad. The fact his dad's like trying to like clout chase. It reminds me of some people we know. It's like trying to clout chase.
It was
like
very bad. Just seeing like
elbowing.
Say that again.
Just get it one more time. Like just.
I already slid in and.
This is also like an 8-year-old. This is like an 8-year-old talking about like I'm gonna get massages from baddies. I'm like, dude, did you not learn from Deshaun Watson like last year?
Oh yeah. I mean, I just him saying the term baddies is enough. But okay. Moving on to the NFL.
Moving on. We already have. Okay.
Moving on in the NFL segment off of that
okay.
Shit.
So, 2 lists we're gonna wrap up with. Top 10 quarterback wide receiver duos entering the 2023 season. Obviously, we do this kind of at the end of the year, start of the year. We now have everybody together, like on their teams respectively. So I think this is pretty concrete. We're gonna go 1 through 10 on this list, not 10 to 1, 1 to 10. We'll get your opinions after I go with this. I think you're gonna like it. All right.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, Tua and Tyreek Hill, Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, and Patrick Mahomes and literally anybody on his team.
Brutally disgusting and vile that you really had the nerve to put Kirk Cousins at a 1 spot for this list. I know
is a quarterback wide. Do you legitimately think that Kirk Cousins is not a good quarterback?
But Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, the difference between Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow is way bigger than Jay Jettis.
I don't think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback, but I don't think you give Kirk Cousins enough credit for the throws that he actually can make.
Like I'm just saying, Everett, to have that at 1, that's bold. That one is bold, I think.
Do you see this flag right behind me right here?
No, I get that. Get that. But when I do my rankings, I like to take the cap off a little bit.
Oh no, I the cap is off, and I still stand with that.
Oh man. Oh, now this is crazy. This is just nuts.
I don't think that it is.
Step back here.
I just don't think it is.
No,
Tell me why.
That's nuts.
Why? Okay, look.
Because
obviously Jamar Chase and Justin Herbert
much bigger than Jay Jettis and Jamar Chase. Simple as that. And quarterback, in my opinion, should matter more for a quarterback wide receiver duo ranking.
Okay, so you would do it this way: Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson at 2.
I would say so.
If you're putting them any lower, that's just downright disrespectful.
I'm not saying that, but like I also think that Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. I think Justin Jefferson is better than Jamar Chase, but I think the drop off after Jamar Chase is pretty significant, in my opinion. I think he's
I agree with
much
that.
better as a
I
receiver than
agree with that.
Tyreek.
I
So
also
after that, I can see it being more favored toward the wide receivers because the drop off between like 3, 4, and 5 best receivers in the league and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is big.
look. I have Tyreek Hill and Tua at 5, but also like I just don't think Tua is. I think he's a systematic quarterback. I don't think he's great, and that's why they're knocked all the way down. Tyreek is ranked as the Water Boys' second overall wide receiver. But
say the onwards from 3 to the rest again?
For the quarterback wide receiver duos?
Yes.
All right. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, Tua and Tyreek Hill, Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen, Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, and then we have Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb or Patrick Mahomes and literally anybody in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I mean the rest, like I don't really have any crazy problems with it. I'm trying to think of anything else that maybe could sneak in there. I don't really.
Somebody's gonna argue
think of
about Lamar
anything else.
Jackson and Odell, but that's BS.
No, not that. Like maybe someone. I mean, I wouldn't take this, but I could see Cleveland fans saying Deshaun and
somebody also Geno Smith and DK Metcalf.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, shit, I might throw them ahead of Calvin Ridley and Trevor Lawrence, but
I just think Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Geno, and Calvin Ridley and DK. Obviously, DK is a little bit better, but I think the difference.
I think you know, if it's going into next season, I think Calvin Ridley can't be on this list.
Last time we saw him play, he was pretty good,
but it's been a year. And we don't
Trevor
know
Lawrence
if he's thrown more parlays, Everett. We have no
you
idea.
never know. You never know. There needs to be a little asterisk there. Okay. The last list we have for today. Top 10 worst draft picks since 2010. This is more
fun.
Huh?
Yeah, this one's a little bit more fun. I personally am very interested for a future top 10 list involving the greatest athletes of all time, and I'm really looking forward to one specific GOAT who's never had his record broken since 1972 being at that number 1 spot, but that's okay.
That's a teaser. You guys can go and investigate which episode we're talking about, by the way, if you're a loyal Water.
I mean, you could just look up 1972 greatest sporting event. It should pop up immediately.
Greatest athlete, actually, of all time. When you're talking about the Mount Rushmore of athletes, like this is like actually the entire thing is just 4 versions of this.
Yeah.
Okay, top 10 worst draft picks of since 2010, or of 2010 to 2010, whatever you want to say. 10-1. Here we go. Kevin White, Trent Richardson, Christian Ponder, Luke Jokić, EJ Manuel, Johnny Manziel, Josh Rosen, Paxton Lynch, Roberto Aguayo, and Justin Gilbert.
I'd like to formally apologize for my comments made earlier. 1973.
Oh, okay.
1970.
Oh, you were close enough, but honest, a little disrespectful.
Was in the ballpark by 1 year.
You know what? All I'm gonna say is our unnamed intern has been feeding us very bad information all day today. Clearly,
yeah, he didn't give us the year there. He just told us
put the name.
Bring up that.
Yeah.
Athlete.
Yes.
I was about to really reveal it by saying horse.
Oh.
Okay. All right. But with the list that you just went over, something that I was thinking about, to qualify truly for like a bust, you have to be selected in the first round. I would say.
I would say
applicable if you're a kicker like Roberto Aguayo, but for the most
part, first round, because you have like you won't have that high standard for somebody in the 5th round.
Yeah.
But for somebody like that first round, obviously there's immediately high standard. Or if you are trading up for a player, especially in this case, it's a kicker in the 2nd round,
like
around
second round running
kind
back,
of
maybe.
Yeah, but
Like,
it's got to have like you have to have the value. Like the value for a kicker in the 2nd round is crazy.
It's like the hype coming into it.
Like it is the comparison of who you could have gotten in that space, the value for what that player would be at that position. So obviously most kickers go in like the 6th round, the 5th round. So drafting a kicker in the 2nd round and trading up to do that is insane.
I mean, even 5th round is arguably crazy for.
I keep it like, look, if Sebastian
kicking careers, like
if Sebastian Janikowski didn't pan out for the Raiders, then that would be the biggest bust of all time because he was a 1st round kicker.
Yeah, well, to be honest, Sebastian Godikowski kind of broke some scouts or GM's minds because he panned out, and that might have, led to the Roberto Aguayo.
Probably did.
Do you know where Stephen Goatkowski or Adam Vinagoat Terry
go to Terry?
They got drafted. Yeah, go to Terry.
I think Stephen Goatkowski was a UDFA.
Okay.
And Adam Vinatieri was like a 6.
I'm just thinking of some of the all-time great kickers. I mean,
all on the Patriots, UDFA, but yeah,
undrafted free agents, all of them, all.
Yeah, but let us know what you guys think about those lists. I don't really know. Like,
John Ross could have potentially found his way on there?
Here's the thing: he
went top 10.
He got that's one of the examples of the combine blowing up, like where you get drafted. John Ross, I still think like he's still in the league.
Is he?
He is. So I think he's on the Giants right now.
I fully thought he was out of the league.
No, he's still in it. He doesn't really do anything, but he's coming back around.
He's on the Chiefs. Okay.
Well, imagine if John Ross actually ends up panning out, and you have John Ross and Kadarius Toney on the same team.
Don't even want to think about it.
Okay, oh my god.
So, yeah, let's not talk about the fucking Chiefs right now. That's literally the last thing I want to think about right now.
I thought that's what you were excited for.
Everett, you're evil. I mean, you're fucked up in the head. You're messed up in the mind right now. What you're trying to do to me right now.
I am picking fights today, apparently.
Yeah, you woke up, you chose violence, and you just wanted to bully me today. The Chiefs. Okay.
But
been through enough torment
with that.
Don't pile it on top.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us
last thing. Injuries. Like now in NBA, everyone's like Greg Oden bust, but like let's say you're a Javid Best who had a different type of injury. Like I don't know. Like Greg Oden, I low-key think he got hurt before he even played his first game. And that one I can get.
I think the NBA is busts are way more based on injury issues than actually skill gaps. But in the NFL, it's a bit of both.
I would actually say for the most part, I'd say
like a majority of
exception is Anthony Bennett, but like that's about
a majority of players like obviously
Fultz, he like had shoulders.
Yeah,
he couldn't lift his hands above
obviously we have there are players in the NBA, let's clarify that just suck and should not have been picked where they were picked, but a majority of like the players who are known as like the biggest busts are because of injury concerns in the NBA, not because of the talent. In the NFL, on the other hand, it's because like, why the fuck are you drafting Cleveland Farrell at number 4?
Yes,
because they clearly don't have the skill to do that.
No, like literally, they dominated that Bama D line in the Natty that year, and Cleveland Farrell went top 5. That's how it went.
He wasn't even the best player on that line. Quinnen Williams went 5.
Quinn Williams wasn't on that team. Dexter Lawrence was on
that team. Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence.
No, wait, are you sure Quinnen Williams wasn't on that team?
Dominant one. Quinnen Williams played for Alabama, Everett. But
yeah, that's what you said. You said Alabama's team.
No.
Oh, they dominate. Yeah. They dominated Alabama. I get what you're
There's
saying.
one more lineman. I'm forgetting his name. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna remember it. Like dominant. I need to figure it out.
Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
That's the guy who stuck his finger up Curtis Samuel's butthole. But okay, I'll wrap it up.
With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. Make sure to follow me and Grant at Everett and at WaterboyGrant. Make sure to subscribe, like, favorite, follow on TikTok. You don't want to miss any of our contents. We tweet out every single day. We TikTok post every single day. Short form content, same on YouTube. And with that, we'll see you in the next episode. Waterboys out.